Judaism is the precursor to the three major Abrahamic religions: modern Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Unlike Christianity, Judaism does not hold that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Most Jews hold that he was just another man, albeit with a good message. This religion dates back to the covenant that God made with a Hebrew man, Abraham. He spoke to Abraham and promised sacred people, or unlimited progeny, as well as a holy land in Canaan to him and his lineage. The Jewish faith believes that there is one single creator, God. Reform Judaism followed the Orthodox division in the 18th century. This division aimed to modernize the faith.
The main shared belief of Judaism is the concept of monotheism. This is the belief that there is only one creator, God. The Jewish people also believe in the Torah. This is believed to be the laws of the Jewish faith that were sent from God. The word Torah is often translated as the law. The Tanakh is actually an acronym for the Hebrew Bible as a whole. There are 24 books in total that make up the core scriptures of Judaism. The T is for Torah. This is the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible. N is for Nevi'im, which contains the literature of prophecy and history. And then the KH is for Ketuvim, which contains poetry.
Reform movements began during the European Enlightenment and came to their culmination in the late 19th century with the drafting of the Pittsburgh Platform of 1885. Reformists of this time claimed that ancient Mosaic legislation was not adapted to the views and habits of modern civilization. Reform Judaism boldly stated that there was no longer a nation of Jews. Therefore, there should no longer be a desire to return to a nation-state in Palestine.
I think the main draw, for me anyways, to Reform Judaism is its inclusivity, the ability to have doubts or be different and still be completely accepted into the group. Reform Judaism was the first to allow females to be rabbis, and they have no issue with interracial couples, interfaith couples, or the LGBT community, and it shifts with the times rather than staying stuck into the past. The things I find most compelling about it, other than the inclusive nature, is the community's desire to try and fix things. I guess other religions have the same goal, to fix their communities and our society, but I think it really shows through when the main principle is a lot more progressive than some others. For some, God isn't even really a part of it. They see it as a cultural, traditional aspect of their life rather than a religious one. And one of the things that I like about Reform Judaism is that they're okay with that mindset, that they are all welcome regardless of their doubts.
I was raised in a household that was somewhere between conservative and reform, kept kosher, separate dishes, kept the Sabbath, etc., with a lot of stuff falling off as I got into adulthood. I can say for certain I would have chosen to be Jewish, reform or otherwise, had I not been born one. It gives me a way of maintaining a connection to my ancestry as well. I feel like my ancestors did things like Passover for a few thousand years, and I enjoy a connection when I host a Seder. Reform Judaism, among the divisions of Judaism, is usefully modern. So many historical religious stories showcase humanity's ancestors' preoccupation with violence to the point of fanaticism. I like Reform Judaism because it's not about that anymore. It reframes those stories as the Jews' right to exist. The thing that is sacred is our right to exist, so we remember that, and we remember not everyone agrees with that right. I'd say things like the Holocaust, in remembrance of it, matter almost more to Reform Jews than does anything in the Torah. And that means education matters, history matters, modernity, and tolerance matter. I'm not certain what precisely transcendence means in the context of Reform Judaism, although I'm certain it provides a window into the transcendent for some. Maybe it's just a way of belonging. This world is all we've got. There will be no Messiah until we make the world ready for one. We have to make the world a good place so it deserves a Messiah. Becoming an exemplar of the possibilities of humanity is a kind of transcendence.
I use some fun Jewish things in my life traditions. We have a mezuzah on my door, and it makes me smile sometimes to think that it's a commandment. When I got married, we stomped on a glass. We had a huppah at my wedding. I hear Hebrew songs, and I get a vibe from them. I look forward to Passover, and I feel a bit of a smile when we say, "Next year in Jerusalem," at the end of it. It's all compelling and beautiful and moving, yeah? I also dig the rabbinic tradition. The religious texts are not singularly true, but are almost scholarly works that are to be interrogated, questioned, and debated. It all just keeps reminding me of Socrates' idea of the unexplained life is not worth living. I like the idea that a similar concept is included in several major religions.
In speaking to Professor Arnold, we discussed why someone might be drawn not only to Judaism, but Reform Judaism. He said people might be drawn to Reform Judaism because they may identify with it on an ethnic, cultural, or religious level. There's a community adoption of the person, he says. To become Jewish is to cast your lot with the Jews. There's a strong sense of history, justice, and on many levels, it's encouraged to doubt. The religion's not based on faith, but more on commitments. One is actually allowed and even promoted to challenge the history. He says one's able to question everything, even the existence of God. For some, this might be a wonderful reason to join Reform Judaism. Jews believe that there is not a probability of divine intervention, and this allowance for freedom of thought may be welcoming for those who are interested. Reform Judaism still holds that commitment to learning, a commitment to justice via tradition of ethical monotheism, exemplified by the exaltation of the social prophets in study, and has a focus on individual autonomy via a focus on individual ideas without separation from the community. When we spoke of transcendence, he described it as a history of the people, something called Klal Israel. To him, this means the entirety of the people, all the world, a connection of the people not only today, but in the past. It means everyone's story tied together all around the world. When he explained it, he described it as if he were to meet somebody in China, his story would be the same as theirs.
With such a rich history, with such a unifying sense of community, and with so much freedom to practice one's faith, we can see why Reform Judaism is appealing. We hope you have enjoyed our presentation and have learned a little more about your future patients, coworkers, and neighbors.